lengths of grass with splashes of sand across undulating landscapes as far as the eye can see. The Chop Hills of northeastern Colorado are the more rambunctious cousin of the neighboring Nebraska Sandhills. This location is where I based the Chop Match Club, my entry into the 2023 TGC Tours World Cup of Design contest. Inspired mostly from Ballyneal and Hunt Club, located in the same location in real life, as well as some notes from Sandhills and Pacific Dunes, the Chop is meant to highlight the rugged and dramatic land and bring the golfer on a unique journey through it. Like Ballyneal, the Chop is also designed foremost as a match play club, where par is more arbitrary and the real challenge is meant to be shared in competition. The aim was never to take shots away, which was achieved with wide areas of short grass. More, the land was used to highlight more difficult to reach points as areas that provide an advantage. Conservative approaches almost guarantee par, but more aggressive approaches tease outscoring your opponent and winning the hole. Camaraderie born in friendly competition. This is every hole at the Chop Match Club. Immediately, the golfer is addressed with an exciting risk-reward decision on this opening mid-length par 4 tee. Hit a blind tee shot to the top of the plateau fairway or a straight shot to the narrow green perched level with this landing zone. Or bail out to the right where you have all the room in the world but are deep down in a large valley, shared with the 18th hole. The green kindly offers a back lip to roll balls back towards the pin, but too far or too soft, and your ball can catch a slope rolling away from the green. From the second tee, the golfer may want to stop, take a breath, and take in the scenery of seas of grass across the flowing ripples of terrain. Poking out in a bull straight ahead, you'll see the crinkled green that is the short par 3 second. The green is bisected by two large humps coming in from off the green that in effect turn the surface into two diagonal turnpipes. Hitting short or long with crafty utilization of the slopes are both viable options here off the tee, but sometimes being the first to hit isn't an advantage on this roller coaster of a green. The ultimate risk-reward hole in golf is the drivable par 4, and hole 3 is quite an intimidating one. The fairway is wide, but the green is narrow and perched on the side of a hill. The proposition of going for the green is tempting, but tempting fate too much and the ball can catch a ski slope tumbling down to the bottom of the stretched fairway that surrounds. Laying up isn't an easy decision either, as despite the generous width of the fairway, many ripples create awkward lies, and the height of the green means an almost blind shot from wherever you land. A unique feature of the Chop is its use of fairway at times as subtle hazard when the golfer takes a more conservative route. This can be seen on the mid-length par 5 fourth. Left fairway is a wide, rolling invitation off the tee. The tucked right portion of fairway over a blowout bunker and sandwiched between bunkers and a raised grass patch offers the best approach to one of the few pushed-up greens on the course. Approach from the left side brings the trio of bunkers around the left side of the green in play, but the hidden advantage is the right side has the ability to skirt around the depression short left of the green. When playing greedy, holding the green is half the battle, as rolling to the correct side of the back ridge bisecting the green usually is the difference between an eagle, birdie, or the frustrating 3-putt par. The Chop isn't the longest course, and a lot of that is due to the amount of short par 4s, but that doesn't mean you can just swing away at driver with reckless abandon, as the common theme on these shorter par 4s is accuracy when you pull out the big club. Hole 5 entices the golfer with a narrow shoot to hit the driver through 2 bunkers, choking the fairway to the preferred right angle to most of the pins. Pulling out a wood offers a wider target, but the large left portion of the fairway is blind on the approach. The green is disconnected and perched above in its own little amphitheater. Skillful use of spin off the back bank can help any golfer out of position pull off a miracle and tilt the momentum in a match back in their favor. The 6th hole can be a tricky conundrum at first, but with a keen eye, you may notice a hidden template or more merging of 2 here on this longer par 3. Hole 6 is sort of a redan mixed with a plateau, as on the left corner is a hill that carries through a ridge bisecting the green. Careful calibration playing balls off the slope can cleverly roll balls right next to 3 of the 4 pins, while playing to the 1 pin up top requires a straight shot running up the ridge into the top plateau. However, getting stuck up there when playing to one of the lower pins is possibly the worst putt you can give yourself on the entire course. Proceed with caution. The driving zone on the behemoth hole 7 is wide open, but the preferred location is a very tight little plateau on the left side of the fairway, protected by bunkers short and left. When holding this spot, the golfer has the best angle to their choice of hitting a wood to the left just over the great hazard dissecting the fairway, or hitting an iron shot to the right just before it. Where the golfer chooses to go is probably based on the pin location in this wildest green on the course. Multiple folds in the landscape segment the green, shrinking the landing spots. Oftentimes, these dramatic slopes can offer many punch bowls to funnel pitch shots towards pins, but getting on the wrong side of the ridge can lead to a hole loss to the opponent. From the longest hole on the course to the shortest, despite its minuscule size, hole 8 packs plenty of drama. From its location in a secluded theatrical coliseum on this corner of the property to the bunkers enclosing the narrow green like crashing waves from the sea of grass. This short par 3 is always a highlight in the round. The green narrows towards the back right as it climbs up the surrounding hills, but the land and gravity will attempt to pull any balls back down to the base. The hole is straightforward, but the pressure to come away under par heightens the nerves and provides the catalyst to many outcomes, despite the hole's lack of length. On the 9th tee, the golfer is immediately smacked in the face with a large grass hill, blocking the view of the destination for this intimidatingly long par 4. 2 aiming posts show the extent of the fairway to provide some guidance. Clinging to the high right side is a good bet for most pins, as it cuts off distance and provides a nice avenue to roll the ball on the green from the right. All pins can be accessed by hitting a running iron shot just short of the green, but watch out, as hidden behind the ridge cutting through the fairway are 2 blind bunkers that reach out for any balls not given enough muscle. This uphill par 5 has another choice off the tee with 2 sections of fairway cut off by a center ridge. The protected right section cuts off distance and provides a path down the spine of the tight green. The wider left pushes drives away, making the hole longer and brings into play the raised planted hill left of the green. The green itself is narrow and nestled between 2 hills. The right hill is all short grass, but might actually be the worst miss on the approach. If you see your opponent land up there, I suggest laying up to the front of the green and enjoy watching them try to save a score to keep up. A quirk in this routing you may notice at this point is the 10th hole returns to the clubhouse rather than the 9th. Speaking of the clubhouse, indulge me a little bit as I nerd out. Being an architect in real life, I always try to add a little flair to my clubhouses. This one was modeled with inspiration from the clubhouse at Tera Iti. including the broken wood pathways. Slippery would be the word for this short par 3 11. It's simple, but requires a lot of careful calibration off this tee shot. The green is wide and deep, but it has a consistent front to back slope. This means you always have to land the ball before the hole to have it remain on the green, not to mention close enough for a birdie try. With the large bunkers short and long, this can be a high variance hole that produces a lot of birdies as well as a lot of bogeys. Hole 12 is a funky one that houses a plethora of options, but never one you are completely comfortable with. Take 3 wood, short, leaving a blind pitch to the turnpike green hidden behind the ridge. Take driver around the center cluster of 3 bunkers. Maybe take iron out short of those bunkers for a full-length wedge in. Even with a tailwind, some of the longest drivers may have a shot at driving the green. The narrow target and segmented nature of the green makes any of these options have pros and cons to weigh. From the tee on hole 13, you see in the distance over an ocean of fairway 2 intimidating ridges, like 2 ships about to collide. Hole 13 gives you all the space in the world to drive, but this narrow canal is your very slender target if you want a view of the green on your approach. Behind these looming gatekeepers, the fairway restricts significantly on this long par 5 and continues to as you get closer to the green and sand traps converge inward. There is a back spine on the green that is a generous tool to use, hitting into this green, but surrounded by dangerous outcomes if you miss. The second longest par 4 on the course might have the most difficult tee shot, with a constricted ribbon of fairway on the right as the aiming point for the best approach line. Plenty of space is provided short of the large dune and bunker dissecting the fairway, but your view will be obscured and you'll have to deal with the large and deep depression short left of the green that the green wraps around. From the 15th tee, you see miles of fairway to the left, and straight ahead, a large blowout bunker cutting into a ridge. At the crest of this ridge is the slender 15th green. Hitting in a little pocket between bunkers on the right brings the best line of attack down the spine of the green, while anything safe left brings a wedge or pitch to a very shallow target 15 feet above you. Anything long rolls back down the fairway on the other side. This little hole can pack quite a momentum swing down the stretch in a close match. The long par 3 16 appears possibly a bit benign off the tee, but ending up on the correct side of the settled tier can be the difference between a hole won and a hole lost. The front right portion is a higher tier, meaning shots need to land just past the large fronting bunker, but short of the green, with the long rollout of woods and hybrids to not roll through to the lower left tier. Pins on that lower left tier have a swale short left to skirt around or through to avoid funneling off the green. Another high variance hole is the climactic drivable par 4 17th. The amoeba-shaped green wraps around a large ridge in the fairway that then rolls to the right and holds the large bunker in front of the green. The ridge is a key feature that affects so many decisions while playing this penultimate hole. Go for the green, risking all the dangers surrounding, or lay back with a wood, but then deal with the center hazard in the large blowout bunker. Or hit driver past the center bunker to the left pocket in the fairway to access the 2 back pins, but short enough to not roll into the large bunker looming at the end of the fairway. A lot of choices at such a crucial point in the match. Ending with a par 5 that's really a 4.5 is an exciting conclusion that should heighten the suspense on the closer. The central valley shared with hole 1 rears its head again here as it protects the preferred right landing zone along with the trio of central bunkers. The green tucked against this fall off to the valley has a front lower tier and all flows downward left to right, heavily favoring a shot from this preferred location. Any amount of strokes 3, 2, 7 is in play on this final hole, meaning the pressure is never off until the final putt drops. I hope this course is as fun for everyone to play as it was for me to produce. Obviously, I wish to do well in the competition, but really, this course was for me trying to develop my design to be more inclusive of all play types and skill levels. Something where someone with less skill level can play a bit more conservative and still enjoy themselves, while the more skilled player can ramp up the aggressiveness and still have challenges. Please feel free to let me know how I did on that mission after you give it a play. Also, feel free to try all 4 tee sets, which provide different angles and distances on individual holes, but all 4 sets end at the same overall length. Thank you, and I hope everyone enjoys their time at the Chop Match Club.